Strong sisters,
Gorgeous brothers.
beautiful others,
Oh.
red circles of fire.
Chapter 20. Talking Through Stone. One of the many technological wonders of Makana was the device known as the audio bi-transmitter, more commonly called a radio. Long ago, Makani inventors had devised a two-way transmitter capable of carrying synchronous spoken messages not only across open land, but even through great sections of cave rock. Fumo broadcast from his Circle of Memory office on an upper level of the city jail complex. The discovery of Tulu's possible treason had shaken him to his core. How could Tulu conspire with the Rakani demons? And why had the demon he spoke with called him cousin? Cousin? What in the Great Circle did that mean? Fumo was not ready to disclose his discovery to anyone. Not yet. But neither could he ignore the possibility that Tulu's every action before the council had been rooted in betrayal. As for the two condemned men, Ottomani and Diodi, Fumo still had not decided what he would do, if anything. But first, he had to know whether Ola-Rhea and her newborn child had already been taken. He leaned toward the transmitter. "Lolo, come in. Lolo!" His voice came out more strained than he intended. "Lolo, do you hear me?" A hiss of static answered first. Then came Lolo's voice, airy and insolent despite the pain beneath it. "I'm here, sweet meat." Even over the transmitter, Fumo could hear the smile in Lolo's voice. He could also hear the weakness. Lolo had taken enough bruises in the fight with the green-tunicked men that medicine and makeup would be needed to hide their battered eye and swollen cheek. Fumo stiffened. "Listen, you know things are over between us, but I had to make sure you were alive." "Well," Lolo said. "Happy love to you too." Fumo exhaled. "I'm sorry. Happy love. I did not mean to be so blunt." "Blunt?" Lolo gave a dry little laugh. "You sound terrified. What do you know that you are not telling me?" Fumo forced his voice into official calm. "I know that you and Father-Brother Tulu encountered 3 intruders from the outer world, 2 men and a pregnant woman. My guardians have been watching them since they breached the portal of no return. On the council's order, I arrested the 2 men. The woman was left in your care at your outer circle cottage." "Pregnant?" Lolo said sharply. "She is very unpregnant now. They took her, Fumo." Fumo's heart lurched. "Who took her?" "I have absolutely no fucking idea. But I know they were not ordinary Makani guardians. They claimed to be some kind of True Circle police unit and said they had council authorization. I have never heard of the True Circle." Fumo went still. He surmised this was another machination of Tulu. Lolo continued, voice tightening. "They wore masks. They wore green robes, not the yellow of your Circle of Memory guardians. Those were dead giveaways. So, I asked for their warrant. I barely got the words out before they attacked me, knocked me unconscious, and kidnapped the girl and the baby. I have been half conscious for the last 30 minutes. Fumo clenched his jaw. "Rakani bastards," he said, letting anger cover his fear. "How dare they violate our lands again?" There was a pause. "Again?" Lolo's voice sharpened. "Fumo, you sound just like my father, full of damn secrets." The accusation cut deeper than Lolo could know. Fumo did not answer at once. He searched for a reply that would not reveal he knew exactly why Ola-Rhea and the child had been taken. But he could not bring himself to lie to Lolo outright. At last, with a broken little grin Lolo could not see, he said, "Thanks. I think." Lolo gave a faint giggle, but it faded quickly. "Their story was a ruse, Fumo. They did not come to protect anyone. They came to return that woman and her child to Rakana. And if they could get to her, they may try to get to the 2 men as well." Fumo did not tell Lolo that the 2 men had already been condemned to execution. All he could manage was, "Do not speculate. I will speak with Brother Demdem and gather a squad of guardians to search for these vermin. But, Lolo, listen to me. Do not speak of this to anyone else. I will contact you again soon. Until then, keep this secret." Lolo's tone softened, though only slightly. "Fine, sweet cheeks. My lips are sealed." The line went dead. For one breath, Lolo sat still. Then Lolo immediately called Father-Brother Tulu. "Baba! Baba! The men took the girl and the child." Tulu was already wary. He knew Lolo had given the 2 intruders the forbidden Orbani crystal, though he had chosen not to confront the matter. The crystal's discovery among the intruders' possessions had only served to incriminate them further, which suited Tulu's purposes perfectly. Still, Lolo's panic unsettled him. "What?" Tulu said with feigned surprise. Do you mean the men I sent with a special warrant to retrieve the girl and the child? I was about to call you to ask how the transfer went. Lolo cut him off. Yes, I mean the men who were clearly not from Makana. The men who were clearly outsiders. They wore masks, Baba. They wore green robes, not circle of memory yellow. Tulu's irritation rose. What did you do, Lolo? I told you I was sending guardians to retrieve the girl and the child. Why can't you ever follow instructions? Do you think I am a fool? Lolo snapped. You said you were sending guardians. Naturally, I thought you meant Makani guardians. But if you are letting Rakani men into our lands in order to... Stop! Tulu's voice cracked like a whip. Do not accuse me with wild speculation. To suggest such a thing is to allege treason against your own father. Tulu let injured dignity enter his tone. Why could you not simply follow my instructions? Why could you not hand over the woman and child peaceably, as I told you? Because those father puckers attacked me without provocation. All I did was ask who they were and why they were taking her. I could not even finish the question before they struck me. Tulu burned with conflicted anger. He should have handled the transfer himself. He should never have trusted Lolo with a matter so delicate. After all, Lolo was willing to hand over a forbidden object to complete strangers in defiance. His child was too volatile, too flighty, too curious, too discerning, but beneath Tulu's anger was something even more dangerous. The Rakani dogs had dared to harm his beloved child. That had not been part of the bargain with Koture. Somehow, they would pay. You are a foolish boy-girl, Lolo, Tulu said coldly. He then openly lied. Those men were not, I repeat, not from Rakana. They were Makani agents operating under a special council detail. That is why they wore masks. That is why they wore green. Their task was to escort the woman and the baby to the border. The border? Lolo said. She just gave birth, Baba. She was in no condition to travel. Enough! The intruders are a threat to our very way of life, and you want to argue over their discomfort? Discomfort? Tulu continued, unabated. The one calling himself Uzi is not some harmless traveler. He is the king dictator of Rakana. The woman and the child are demon royalty and carry a bloodline that is fatal to us now that they have violated the portal of no return and seen the paradise of Makana. Lolo fell silent. Tulu's anger drove him further than caution should have allowed. Fortunately, the king dictator and his bedmate have been condemned by the tribunal to the water death. You are killing Rakana's king? Lolo gasped. Won't they retaliate? Tulu answered with contempt. What does it matter? I showed mercy by returning the woman and child to their own people at the border. That is what you call mercy, Baba? Yes, and I thought you did not believe the old fairy tales about Rakana, daughter-son. I do not know what I believe anymore. Lolo's voice wavered. But he is truly their king? A king in exile, Tulu said. And we do not fear retaliation. We are Makana. We are superior in morals, intellect, and divine technology. Rakana would not dare attack us. If they did, we would crush them in a single stroke. It sounded like a reasonable defense of Makana's power, but it was only a thin cover over the truth. Tulu had conspired with Lord Koture, and now that conspiracy was beginning to move beyond his control. That is not right either, Baba, Lolo said. We condemn Rakana as cruel, murderous, and hellish. But when we kill, kidnap, and abandon women after childbirth, we call it justice. We dress up the same cruelty in prettier robes and call ourselves pure. I said, stop being foolish, daughter-son. I will not debate the ways of Makana with you. We of the circles do what must be done to preserve love, life, and memory. We protect our world. We protect the freedom that allows you to be who you are and whatever you are. Now wait just a minute. Lolo took umbrage, but Tulu spoke over them. You will do nothing. You will tell no one. Stay in our outer circle cottage and leave this matter to the defense guardians and to me. Do you hear me? Lolo said nothing. Stay there, Tulu continued. Do not make me send guards to guard you. Whatever. Do you hear me? Yes, Baba. Damn it, yes. Do whatever you want. Tulu switched off his transmitter. Then he immediately sent word to Fumo. Post guards at the cottage and detain Lolo there until further notice. But before Lolo ended their own transmission, they sent one more message to the already agitated Fumo. Then Lolo packed a small travel bag. Among the items tucked inside were two objects doubly forbidden for civilians to carry, revolvers. Lolo pulled the hood of a fresh toga over their head, slipped out of the cottage, and closed the door behind them. The streets beyond glowed with the strange mineral light of the Great Way. Tulu would send guards. Fumo would ask questions, the Rakani would move quickly. So, Lolo had to move the fastest. Before anyone could confine them to house arrest, before anyone could bury the truth, Lolo disappeared into the darkened, glowing arteries of Makana. And nearby, hidden and waiting, was a fast motorcycle.
Now, good people, please like, comment, and subscribe to catch the next thrilling episode of Red Circles of Fire.